Have you heard that, as the years go by, our social circle tends to shrink? Friends move away, retirement changes routines, and suddenly, silence becomes a more frequent companion. For many over 50, this isn't just a perception, it's a reality that can bring a sense of emptiness. But what if I told you that this loneliness is far more than just an emotional problem? Modern science is revealing that social isolation is a health risk as dangerous as smoking or obesity. It's a real health issue with measurable physical consequences. Researchers worldwide are diving into this, and what they've discovered is alarming, but also incredibly hopeful. They've identified an intervention so powerful, it's being called the friendship pill, a scientifically proven way to boost longevity after 50. It's not a medication you buy at a pharmacy, but rather an antidote we cultivate in our lives. In this video, we'll dive deep into the science behind this metaphorical pill. We'll unravel how our social connections directly impact our biology, from the cellular level to the health of our most vital organs. If you care about your health and want to live longer and better, stay with me. The information I'm about to share could be the missing link in your wellness plan. And if this type of content is important to you, take a moment to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss what's next. The idea that friendship can prolong life might sound like a self-help cliché, but the scientific basis for this claim is robust and surprising. One of the most impactful studies in this area is a meta-analysis led by Professor Julianne Holt-Lunstad, which compiled data from 148 different studies involving over 300,000 participants. The conclusions were unequivocal. Individuals with strong social ties had a 50% greater likelihood of survival compared to those with poor or insufficient social relationships. To put this in perspective, the impact of low social contact on mortality is comparable to smoking 15 cigarettes a day, and is even greater than the risks associated with obesity and physical inactivity. Think about that for a moment. We pay so much attention to diet, exercise, and quitting smoking, yet the strength of our relationships can carry equal weight in our longevity. This evidence isn't limited to a single study. Longitudinal research, which follows people for decades, like the famous Harvard study of adult development, reaches the same conclusion. It's quality relationships that keep people happy and healthy throughout life, more than money or fame. But how exactly can a good conversation or a get-together with friends have such a profound and protective effect on our biology? The answer isn't magic, but rather in our body's complex chemistry and how it responds to our social environment. The science behind the friendship pill reveals a fascinating interplay between our emotions and our physiology. The connection between our social ties and our physical health isn't a metaphor. It's a real and powerful biological mechanism. When we feel lonely or isolated, our body enters a state of chronic alert. This triggers the release of stress hormones, primarily cortisol. In small doses, cortisol is useful for fight or flight situations, but when its levels remain chronically elevated, as in prolonged social isolation, it wreaks havoc. Excess cortisol promotes systemic inflammation, which is at the root of many chronic diseases like heart disease, arthritis, and type 2 diabetes. It can also suppress the immune system, making us more vulnerable to infections. On the other hand, positive social interactions have the opposite effect. Contact with friends, the touch of a hug, or even a pleasant conversation releases a hormone called oxytocin, often nicknamed the bonding hormone or love hormone. Oxytocin is a powerful natural anti-inflammatory and acts as a direct antidote to cortisol. It helps lower blood pressure, reduce anxiety, and promote a sense of calm and safety. Essentially, every positive interaction is on a chemical level, fighting stress and inflammation in your body. And that's why the term friendship pill is so apt. It's a medication we administer to ourselves through our actions, which modulates our internal biochemistry to promote health. Understanding that our friendships strengthen our defenses and regulate our hormones is already eye-opening. But science goes further, showing how this pill specifically protects our brain, the command center of our health, as we age. As we age, one of the biggest concerns is the health of our brain and the preservation of our cognitive abilities. And this is where the friendship pill demonstrates one of its most remarkable effects. A series of long-term studies, like the Rush Memory and Aging Project, have investigated lifestyle factors that protect against cognitive decline and diseases like Alzheimer's. The results consistently show that people with more active and engaged social networks have a significantly lower risk of developing dementia. The mechanism behind this is multifaceted. First, social interaction is a complex brain exercise. Holding a conversation requires our brain to work actively. We need to listen, process information, access memories, formulate responses, and interpret nonverbal cues. This constant mental gymnastics helps build what scientists call cognitive reserve. Think of it as a savings account for the brain. The more strong neural connections you build throughout life, through stimuli like socialization, the more resilient your brain becomes to damage from aging or disease. Furthermore, having friends and a support network acts as a powerful buffer against stress, which, as we've seen, is toxic to brain cells. Loneliness, conversely, is associated with greater deposits of beta-amyloid plaques in the brain, one of the pathological hallmarks of Alzheimer's disease. While the evidence is largely correlational, meaning we see a UNT say friendship asterisk directly causes asterisk dementia prevention, the strength and consistency of this link across so many population studies are too strong to ignore. Protecting the mind is crucial, but what about the heart? The organ we symbolically associate with emotions and friendships is also one of the biggest physical beneficiaries of these bonds. The impact of our social connections on the heart is profound and direct. Cardiovascular health is a major concern for those over 50, and science shows that loneliness is an independent and significant risk factor for heart disease and stroke. A study published in the journal Heart found that social isolation and loneliness increase the risk of heart attack or angina by 29% and the risk of stroke by 32%. These numbers are comparable to well-known risk factors like anxiety and workplace stress. The biological mechanism makes perfect sense. As we've discussed, chronic isolation elevates cortisol levels, which in turn increases blood pressure and inflammation in the arteries, setting the stage for atherosclerosis, which is the hardening and narrowing of the arteries. Moreover, socially connected individuals tend to adopt healthier behaviors. Friends can encourage us to go for walks together, try a healthy recipe, or seek medical attention when something isn't right. This positive influence and mutual accountability are underestimated components of disease prevention. Conversely, positive social interaction, like sharing a laugh with a friend, can lower heart rate and blood pressure in real. If this information is making sense to you, and you believe more people need to know about the power of the friendship pill, please give this video a like. Your interaction helps YouTube understand that this is valuable content, and recommend it to more people. It's clear that science strongly supports this idea. The big question that remains is, how can we take this pill effectively? How, in practice, can we build and maintain these vital connections, especially after Now that we understand the scientific why, let's focus on the how. Implementing the friendship pill into your life doesn't have to be a monumental task. The key is to start with small, manageable, and consistent steps. An excellent first strategy is to reactivate existing ties. Think of longtime friends, cousins, or former colleagues with whom you've lost touch. The foundation of trust and shared history is already there, making reconnection much easier. Pick up the phone and call, rather than just texting. The human voice conveys emotion and creates a much stronger connection. Suggest a casual coffee or lunch, without grand expectations, just to catch up. Another powerful approach is to connect through shared interests. This is perhaps the most natural way to make new friends in adulthood. Think about your hobbies and passions. Do you enjoy reading? Look for a book club at your local library. Do you like gardening? See if there's a community garden in your neighborhood. Dance classes, walking groups, cooking or language courses are perfect environments. They offer a structured activity, which takes the pressure off having to make friends, and ensure you already have something in common with everyone there. Finally, consider volunteering. Dedicating your time to a cause you believe in not only provides a deep sense of purpose, but also puts you in contact with people who share your values. Whether it's at a hospital, animal shelter, museum, or community organization, volunteering creates fertile ground for meaningful friendships. Initiating these new connections is an excellent step, but the quality of these interactions is what truly matters. Building a social circle isn't just about filling your calendar. It's about cultivating the quality and depth of your bonds. Science suggests that it's trusting relationships, where we feel seen, heard, and supported, that provide the greatest health benefits. Therefore, the next step is transforming acquaintances into true friends. One of the pillars for deepening a friendship is reciprocity and vulnerability. This means not just sharing your own stories and feelings, but also being an attentive and empathetic listener to others. Ask about their lives, and truly listen to the answer. Sharing a concern or a joy genuinely signals trust and invites the other person to do the same. Consistency is also fundamental. Friendships, like plants, need to be watered regularly. Instead of waiting for meets to happen spontaneously, be proactive. Propose a weekly call, a bi-weekly coffee, or a monthly lunch. Putting these social commitments on your calendar, treating them with the same importance as a doctor's appointment, ensures the friendship stays alive and strong. Small gestures also have a huge impact. A text message asking how your friend's doctor's appointment went, remembering their birthday, or sending an article about a topic you discussed shows that you care and are thinking of them. It's important to note that science doesn't prescribe a magic number of friends. What's as crucial is having at least a few people you can rely on and count on during difficult times. It's the quality of perceived support that truly modulates our biology. Cultivating quality friendships is a long-term strategy. But what about the real challenges many face, like shyness or mobility issues? It's crucial to acknowledge that while the friendship pill is potent, it's not a magic bullet, and its implementation can have barriers. Shyness or social anxiety, for example, can make the idea of meeting new people daunting. If this is your case, the key is to start small. Instead of jumping into a large group, focus on one-on-one interactions, which are less intimidating. Start practicing with people in low-stakes situations, like chatting with the grocery store cashier or a neighbor. Online platforms focused on hobbies can be a good training ground for interacting from behind the safety of a screen, before bringing the connections into the real world. For those with mobility issues, technology can be a powerful ally. Regular video calls with family and friends can bridge much of the gap of physical distance. There are countless online groups, book clubs, and even adapted fitness classes that allow socialization without leaving home. It's also important to be honest about the limitations of scientific evidence. Studies show a very strong correlation, but we cannot claim that having friends guarantees disease prevention. Health is multifactorial. The friendship pill is a vital piece of the puzzle, which works best when combined with a healthy diet, regular physical activity, and adequate medical care. It's not a substitute for these other pillars of health, but rather a multiplier of their benefits. Overcoming these obstacles and understanding the nuances of the science is fundamental to applying this strategy realistically and effectively. Now, with all this knowledge, it's crucial to tie it all together with the most important guidance of all: integrating this knowledge with professional care and your individual health journey. We've reached the end of our journey into the science of the friendship pill. To recap, we've learned that loneliness isn't just a sad feeling, but a concrete health risk factor with biological impacts affecting our immune system, our brain, and our heart. We've seen that strong social connections act as a powerful antidote, releasing protective hormones like oxytocin and combating the harmful effects of chronic stress. We've explored practical strategies for cultivating these bonds, from reactivating old friendships to finding new ones through hobbies and volunteering, always with a focus on quality and consistency. Now comes the most crucial part: the medical disclaimer. While the scientific evidence on the benefits of social ties is impressive, this video is for informational purposes only. It does not, in any way, substitute consulting with a doctor, psychologist, or other qualified healthcare professional. Chronic loneliness and isolation can be symptoms of underlying conditions, such as depression, which require professional diagnosis and treatment. If you are persistently feeling lonely, sad, or anxious, please seek help. Discuss your concerns and any lifestyle changes with your doctor. They can offer personalized guidance and ensure you are taking care of your health holistically. The friendship pill is not a miraculous cure, but rather a powerful, evidence-based tool for a longer, healthier, and happier life. Now, I want to hear from you. Which practical strategy we discussed today do you feel most inspired to try? Leave your comment below. Let's use this space to build a supportive community. Share this video with a friend you love. It might just be the first step to strengthening that connection. Thanks for watching, and until next time.